You know that feeling you get when you dial in your system? You know exactly where everything is. You can set up quick, you can take down quick. You're super organized, super squared away. Camping is a breeze. I don't know what that feels like anymore. We have flipped our script upside down, and today we're out camping without the rooftop tent. We are in a Gazelle ground tent. I just feel like we are so disorganized. This is all new to us. Quite honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing. So let me give you some backstory real quick. When we went to the Southeast Adventure Vehicle Expo, we realized that our rooftop tent was completely covered in mold, and there's just been a plethora of issues with that tent. It's a great tent, and it's super savable. Just don't have the time or the energy or the money right now to do that. So we passed it along to another family, but it had some other issues that needed to be dealt with, some rainfly leaks and things like that. Again, super savable. That person got an amazing tent, and I hope they make a ton of new memories. But us, we are now without a rooftop tent. We're in a Gazelle tent. We went and bought air mattresses. We're venturing into the unknown here. We haven't camped in a ground tent in, I don't even know, 10 years, 6 years, something like that. So this is all new territory for us. So I'm gonna take you guys through, I guess, what it's kind of like to just start over and rebuild your system from the ground up. Let's figure this out. Let's get this going. So here's what I think I know about ground tents. You want level ground that isn't covered in mud and roots and rocks.
I'm gonna need some. Bring the stuff here. Okay. My turn. I'm doing it.
You're doing great. Ta-da!
I must have an extra. Nothing.
Nothing. This is super easy.
I know what I'm doing because I am an Overlander bred, and that means that I know exactly what to do with my poles. You hear me?
We're here with John Berkmeyer, the founder, creator, godfather of the Florida Adventure Trail himself. Jason Kirchie, who you may know as Swell Runner, the man, the myth, the legend.
Hey!
Woohoo!
Firing on the 4th of July. Good things are going on there in Mississippi.
Not gonna stick on my beard. That's good. Do I look like a crazy person now?
You look great. Superb, even.
My cup is bedazzled.
Your cup runneth over.
It doth runneth. I'm about to runneth over myself with these bedazzles.
It's made me feel good there in Mississippi.
All right, so the Gazelle is set up surprisingly easy. The girls handled it pretty much all by themselves, which is impressive. That's a bonus, right? That's a plus. You can have the girls set up the tent while Kaylin and I go sit around and do nothing. So that'll be a nice change of pace. But in all seriousness, the jury's still out. We've not spent a night in the Gazelle. We have 2 air mattresses in there that barely fit. We're kind of learning this thing as we go. We've had some issues, some hiccups along the way. We feel pretty disorganized, and there's just stuff kind of what feels like everywhere. It may not outwardly look like that, but let me kind of walk you through how we tackled this weekend, because the system is gone at this point. So we knew that we couldn't store the bedding up in our rooftop tent anymore because we don't have a rooftop tent, and you can't store the Gazelle in the bag with the bedding in. So we decided we would throw the bedding in one of these tough totes, waterproof tough totes, because it's supposed to rain. And we don't have enough room in the cab when the family all comes, so we tried to figure this issue out. This seemed to work for 2 sleeping bags, a heated blanket, and both air mattresses, both full-size air mattresses. So that worked. That was tucked back behind the fridge. Kind of tricky to get to, so not necessarily ideal for quick setup for camp, but kept it dry, kept it out of the rain. So how we are transporting the Gazelle, rather than just throwing it in the truck bed on top of everything, we're using the American Adventure Lab sleeper keepers. It cinches them off to the side here, keeps them up and out of the way and out of the water and the dirt and the dust and things like that. The only issue that we have is it interferes with opening the fridge all the way, so we might have to relocate those. I don't necessarily want it on top of the rack due to low-hanging branches and things like that tearing it open. And it also kind of shields it from the weather a little bit on this side. So we're working through these issues. The other issue that we had is where do we put all our clothes at this point? So ordinarily the space that would be taken up with our clothes is taken up by our bedding. So we're just kind of compounding issues here, trying to figure things out. We had a couple of these Husky cases laying around for an entirely different Overland project, and we'll repurpose those again later. But we decided we would use these for our clothes this trip because they're supposed to be really inclement weather, but it's panning out to be pretty great. These are IP65 stormproof cases by Husky. I'll link them down in the description below. They fit Kaylin and the girls' clothes into one, and then for some reason I overpacked, so they fit into the other one. These are cool because they can link together, and now you can have one giant case. They come in different sizes. These are going to work pretty good for clothes. We're going to store them inside the tent, not outside, but I'm sure that you probably could and get away with it just fine. You could use these for anything, but this is what we're using for our clothes right now. Using air mattresses, which is new to us as well. We had to pump them up with the Blue Eddy to run the air pump, and that's fine. That worked out all right. 2 full-size air mattresses just barely fit. Probably too big for this. But we have 2 full-size air mattresses. We have the Ryobi fan. We didn't bring the Zero Breeze. Supposed to get down to about 60 degrees tonight, so we didn't see a need to. I think it's gonna be beautiful. But we have the Ryobi fan just in case, maybe some white noise. The heated blanket just in case to cut down some of the cold air creeping in from underneath. I think we're gonna be fine. But really basic setup. It set up pretty quick. Kaylin was making a comment that she thought the setup was easier and quicker than the rooftop tent. We'll see. We're gonna do this again tomorrow night, but we'll see if that pans out. The biggest issue that I see that we're trying to figure out now is how we utilize our space the most effective, because the girls are cramped in there trying to get everything fitting right, and it didn't feel like we were organized. It kind of felt like we were frantic and all over the place. So we're going to work through some of these issues. If you have suggestions for us, please drop us down in the comments below, because we are going to be running this setup for probably close to a year until we get our new rooftop tent set up, and we have some stuff in the works for that. It's going to be awesome, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow along with us. If you have suggestions for a camping setup for the back, we'd love to hear that as well. If you have learned any lessons the hard way along the way, still want to hear those too.
How can I keep from falling down when the storm is raging in? Let it rain, this time, my brother. How can I keep my feet on the ground when the clouds come overhead? Close your eyes and feel that breath, brother. How can I keep from falling down?
Good morning. Just woke up in Ocala at Hopkins Prairie. Had a fairly comfortable night in the Gazelle tent. Some lessons learned, right? The CVT tent's got the constantly open venting side panels, so we can just get the condensation out that way. The Gazelle didn't have that, so we woke up just covered in condensation. Something to think about, something for us to learn along the way, and it's kind of why we're out here doing this, experimenting with ground tenting, vice, rooftop tenting, and kind of experiencing those differences and really trying to see what system works best for us. But we have to get packed up. We're going to hit the trail here soon. Today's challenge is going to be reorganizing the truck in a better way and also making sure that everything fits the same way in the bins as it did when we came out here. If anybody knows what it's like to stuff a tent back in its bag, it's kind of that proverbial scenario.
Well, I dearly love my home, but it never looks so good to me. Blue skies and dragonflies, a muddy creek, Lord set me free.
I just crushed some Todd's tacos down here in Ocala, working our way back over to the trail. We're gonna find campsite for tonight and kind of go through the whole process over again, see if we can't get a little better at this, more refined. But I'm excited to hit the trail. It's been a great day. No rain, 80 degrees, sun is shining. This is the perfect time to be out on the trail, and Lord knows I needed this.
It made me feel good. Yeah,
Nissan Xteras that have the Titan swap and all the lift that I have tend to go through CVs pretty regularly, unfortunately. And all the great companies that make cool stuff for Toyotas to solve that problem don't make stuff for this, and they should. So I need to...
You mean like Toyota?
Yeah. So anyways, I just need to put a new CV in it. Normally I grab an extra one with me.
You're gonna have to handle your shaft.
I will.
Yeah, there's no road like that to go. And there's no road like that to go. 50 miles off that main line, desert sands call me home. 50 miles off that main line, says call me home. Yeah, I've got my gears in drive. I told my city I'd go. Yeah, I've got my gears in drive. I told my city I'd go. Yeah, there's no road like that.
The severe thunderstorm will remain over mainly open waters.
Good morning on this breezy Sunday morning. We are packed up, ready to go and get out of here. It's been a fantastic trip working through some of the issues. Man, what a beautiful site that we ended up at last night right here on the pond. However, that's kind of where it ended. Starting around 10 o'clock last night, all the way to about 3 a.m., a bunch of kids came out here to do donuts and play loud music, curse us out, let us know that this is their territory. And man, it's such a bummer because this is such a gorgeous spot. It's rich with wildlife. The cranes are all around here. The frogs are croaking at night. It really would have been an enjoyable experience. And I think, truth be told, that we all are attracted to these areas for the same reason. And then at some point, fundamentally, we diverge from just wanting to enjoy the peace and quiet, the nature for what it is, and take it all in, to just find an open space to create mayhem. And I don't know where that diversion comes from, or where that or how to fix that issue necessarily. But man, I just wish that people were more respectful of the people around and understand that this isn't their area. It's not our area. It's a shared area, right? And if we can't just respect each other, come out here, have enjoyable experiences, especially when there are kids running around and we're cursing at us and things like that. It just kind of makes an uncomfortable situation. It truthfully ruins the whole experience for the kids and for the spouses and things like that. So one of the issues that we worked with that we weren't necessarily expecting out here in the middle of nowhere was to find some bad attitudes. But I'm not going to let that ruin our entire experience. We are going to head out of here, try to find the main road, head home, because we got a lot of drying off to do for stuff. It poured for 2 nights in a row, which kind of added to the excitement a little bit, added to the how do we work through these issues type of scenarios. And I think we're walking away from this experience with a lot of lessons learned on how to better pack the rig and how to better set up the rig for some ground tent camping. Because I think for the next year or so, until we do what we really want to do, which is going to be awesome, we're going to be in the Gazelle tent. That's not a bad thing. It's just a different thing. As always, I really appreciate you guys tagging along with us, and I can't wait to see you on the trail.